And a good Saturday afternoon, everybody on the East Coast, West Coast, North Side, South Side, wherever you are in this great country of ours. Welcome to Bethea'S Byte Reloaded. So good to have you here, Ernest Bethea, the last outlaw here. And after the last couple of weeks, you probably noticed that by the end of last week's edition, I was tired. Physically, I was just drained because of all the stories we've covered with kids disappearing and it all having a bad ending. Well, I hate to do this to you and I hate to do this to myself, but we have another missing child. And that is where I begin with the missing persons update. And let me tell you, every time I do a missing person story or a deep dive into a story just like this, it drains me. It really does. But I'm gonna go ahead and get to it right now. Take a look at your screen, folks. This is Miguel Eduardo Medina. He was declared missing on February 6th in Walnut, California. February 6th. That's the day before my birthday. Miguel was born in Los Angeles, California on October 21st. At the time of his disappearance, he stood about 3 feet tall, weighed around 17 pounds, with black hair and brown eyes. Here's your details. The FBI's Los Angeles field office, the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department, and the U.S. Marshal Service Central District of California Los Angeles Missing Child Unit are seeking the public's assistance in locating Miguel Eduardo Medina. Miguel was last seen on February 6, 2024 at 9:30 a.m. near the 500 block of Grand Avenue in Walnut, California. He was allegedly picked up by his non-custodial mother, Brigitte Benitez, and he has not been returned to his legal guardian. Take you quickly here. He was last seen in a black 2021 Toyota Camry with California license plate 8WAS 968. Again, that's license plate number 8WAS 968. Miguel was last seen wearing a black jacket, jeans, and black Adidas shoes. If you have any information regarding the whereabouts of Miguel Eduardo Medina, you're asked to get in contact with the FBI's Los Angeles field office, or you can submit your tips anonymously at tips.fbi.gov. But whatever you do not hesitate. We want to actually have a happy ending for once for this story. Remember, if you see something, please say something. Let's bring Miguel Eduardo Medina home safe and sound. And we're still on the lookout for Elijah Vu, and I have I have a few more details on his case in a little bit. Who else are we missing, if anyone? Oh, We got a couple of Amber Alerts out of Tennessee. So sit tight, ladies and gentlemen. I got you on this. All right. That's loading up. All right, I'll start here first. Okay. Looking for the okay. There's our photo. This is 7-year-old Isis Crumb, missing as of March 1st, 2024, out of Tennessee. At the time of her disappearance, she stood about 5 feet tall, weighed around 80 pounds, with black hair and brown eyes. An Amber Alert has been issued on behalf of the Rutherford County Sheriff's Office for Isis Crumb. Isis Crumb is a 7-year-old biracial female. As I mentioned, stood about 5 feet tall, weighed around 80 pounds, with black hair and brown eyes. Iris was last seen on March 1st, 2024, in the area of Blue Fox Trail in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Iris is possibly in the company of her non-custodial mother, Kalia Zareda. Zareda is a 30-year-old black female, standing approximately 5 feet 6 inches tall, weighing around 140 pounds, with black hair and brown eyes. Zareda is currently wanted by the Rutherford County Sheriff's Office for custodial interference and the San Diego County Sheriff's Office in California for felony child abduction. This is the young lady in question. So again, if you have any information on the disappearance of Iris Crumb, the whereabouts of Kayla Crumb, please, you are asked not to hesitate. Call 911 immediately or get in touch with the Rutherford County Sheriff's Office at 615-898-7770. 615-898-7770. Again, don't hesitate. The difference between bringing Iris Crumb back safe and sound and bringing her back any other way is based on the information you can bring. If you see something, say something. One more and I can go right into my docket. Oh, let me see who's in my chat real quick. Rollerball Investigations. How you doing? I wonder why she doesn't have custody of her. That makes two of us. I have one other missing persons case before I even start into my docket. So hang tight. Here we go. This is 15-year-old Sebastian Rogers. He's been missing since February 26, 2024, out of Hendersonville, Tennessee. At the time of his disappearance, Sebastian stood about 5 feet 5 inches tall, weighed around 120 pounds, with brown hair and brown eyes. Last seen wearing a black sweatshirt, black sweatpants, and glasses. This was an Amber Alert issued on behalf of the Sumner County Sheriff's Office for Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. He was last seen February 26, 2024 in the area of Stafford Court in Hendersonville, Tennessee. Sebastian was last seen wearing a black sweatshirt, black sweatpants, and glasses. He has a medical condition that may impair his ability to return safely without assistance. If you've seen Sebastian or have any information regarding his whereabouts, again, I can't stress it enough. Do not hesitate. You want to call the Sumner County Emergency Communications Center at 615-451-3838. Again, that's 615-451-3838. Or call the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation at 1-800-TBI-FIND. That's 1-800-824-3463. Or if all else fails, call 911. Or in the case of Sebastian or Iris, if you can't get through to on any of those lines, you can always call the 24-hour call center for the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. That number is 1-800-THE-LOST. 1-800-843-5678. Let's bring these kids home safe and sound. And whatever you do, if you see something, please say something. Let's see. Oh, that's good. That's good news. They've crossed state lines looking for him now, and they have more law enforcement helping in the search. That is great news. Let's hope they find him and they can bring him home safe. Now, like I said at the start, the last time I was on live, I was literally, figuratively, and physically drained. I was so drained. I still haven't changed the top of my ticker. Hey, Jennifer Heineho, how you doing? Everything's fine. I should have a little bit more energy in me, but apparently I didn't have enough to change my ticker. I am about to go through my entire docket for this week, and there's some updates, a couple of verdict watches, and let's just say today is a good time for me to go through a lot of legal stories that went down this week. I do appreciate that, though. It's in my list is my miscellaneous. Oh, there it is. There it is. All right. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I'm about to go right into this. And the first two stories I'm going to open up with are verdict watches. Okay. Oh, let's see what happened. There we go. All right. Now I can go ahead and share this screen, and we can go ahead and kick this thing off right. All right, we begin with the with this huge case regarding the shooting, the accidental shooting on the set of the movie Rust, which was directed by Alec Baldwin. One of the people that was responsible in that case, Hannah Gutierrez, is charged with involuntary manslaughter in that case, and she was on trial for her role in the shooting, which was not supposed to have happened to begin with. So I'm gonna take you right now to the verdict as it's read, and then break down the details on that one.
I said, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, through the foreperson, have you reached a verdict?
Yes.
All right, and do you wish to read the verdicts?
Sure.
Okay. I would start with count one.
Oh.
Okay. Either, both of them. Will the defendant please stand?
We find the defendant, Hannah Gutierrez, guilty of involuntary manslaughter as charged in count one. We find the defendant, Hannah Gutierrez, not guilty of tampering with evidence as charged in count two.
All right, thank you. You may be seated. Let me get those forms, retrieve those forms from you. I'm going to do what's called polling the jury. What I need to put on the record is that this is your individual verdict, okay? So I'm going to start with the gentleman in the back. Is this your verdict?
Yes.
Ma'am, is this your verdict?
Yes.
Sir, is this your verdict?
Yes.
Sir, is this your verdict?
Yes.
Sir, is this your verdict?
Yes, Your
Sir, is this your verdict?
Yes.
Sir, is this your verdict?
Yes.
Ma'am, is this your verdict?
Yes.
Ma'am, is this your verdict?
Yes.
Ma'am, is this your verdict? Ma'am, is this your verdict?
Yes.
Ma'am, is this your verdict? Okay, thank you. All right, so you've completed your service. Thank you so much for being here. It was a long trial.
All right, you heard it. Hannah Gutierrez is found guilty of involuntary manslaughter, but she was found not guilty of tampering with evidence. Jennifer Hiney-Hole says she didn't watch this one. I didn't get to watch it all either. I caught the back end. I caught the back end of with the verdict being read, and honestly, what I can use for my opinion is, I believe she was not the only one who should be responsible for the shooting that happened. It's got to be others that was involved that should have made sure that the bullets used on the set were indeed dummy rounds. This is the way Court TV broke it down on oh wow, Mo, what's good? Here's how Court TV broke it down for us when the verdict was read. A jury convicted a movie weapons supervisor of involuntary manslaughter Wednesday in the fatal shooting of a cinematographer by actor Alec Baldwin during a rehearsal on the set of the Western movie Rust. The verdict against movie armorer Hannah Gutierrez assigned new blame in the October 2021 shooting death of cinematographer Helena Hutchins after an assistant director last year pleaded no contest to negligent handling of a firearm. Gutierrez had also faced a second charge of tampering with evidence, stemming from accusations that she handed a small bag of possible narcotics to another crew member after the shooting to avoid detection. She was found not guilty on that count. Immediately after the verdict was read in court, the judge ordered the 26-year-old armorer placed into custody of deputies. Lead attorney Jason Bowles said afterward that Gutierrez will appeal the conviction, which carries a penalty of up to 18 months in prison and a $5,000 fine. I'm gonna stop right there. Stop right there with my reading. Okay. It's which one was not guilty? She was found not guilty of tampering with evidence. She was found guilty, however, of involuntary manslaughter. So I was going to say that with her being found, the punishment being up to 18 months and a $5,000 fine. I mean, I'm just gonna come right out and say it. That's like a slap on the wrist compared to what could have really happened. I know this was on a movie set, but that could have easily have been a murder charge. And a $5,000 fine? That's in Hollywood, that's peanuts. That's peanuts to what could have happened. Yeah, but you're right though, Jen. You're right though, Jen. And it's because it's involuntary, that can still ruin your life. Absolutely. You're right. Santa Fe-based State District Attorney Judge Mary Marlowe Summer did not immediately set a sentencing date. Alec Baldwin, who was the lead actor and co-producer on Rust, was indicted by a grand jury in January on a charge of involuntary manslaughter. He was pointing a gun at Hutchins on a movie set outside Santa Fe, New Mexico, when the gun went off, killing the cinematographer and wounding director Joel Souza. The trial was a preamble to Baldwin's trial scheduled in July. He has pled not guilty. Messages seeking comment about Wednesday's verdict from Baldwin's spokeswoman and a lawyer were not immediately returned. Prosecutors said at trial that Gutierrez unknowingly brought live ammunition onto the movie set, and it remained there for at least 12 days before the fatal shooting, giving the armorer plenty of time to remove it. Excuse me. In closing arguments, prosecutor Kerry Morrissey described constant, never-ending safety failures on the set of Rust and Gutierrez's astonishing lack of diligence with gun safety. We end exactly where we began, in the pursuit of justice for Helena Hutchins. Morrissey told jurors, Hannah Gutierrez failed to maintain firearm safety, making a fatal accident willful and foreseeable. Prosecutors also contended that the armorer repeatedly skipped or skimped on standard gun safety protocols that might have detected live rounds. This was a game of Russian roulette every time an actor had a gun with dummies, Morrissey said. Defense attorneys told jurors that the problems on the set extended far beyond Gutierrez's control, including the mishandling of weapons by Baldwin, citing sanctions and findings by state workplace safety investigators. Which is why I said before, there's a lot of things there's a lot of things that could have been done that could have prevented all this. Let's see to the comments. Yes, this was a felony, involuntary manslaughter all day. Yeah, She will be a convicted felon now. Yes. Isn't that also the same kind of charge you can get for defending yourself and accidentally killing while saving yourself? Let me go over that in my head real quick, because there's self-defense and then there's involuntary manslaughter. For involuntary manslaughter, I would say that it could very well be from it could very well be from state to state. Let's see. I know I always ask, but can I share? Jennifer, you are good to share this on your on Facebook. Yes. Mo thinks the same as a DUI charge. Not necessarily, because the charge says, I know we use the initials often. DUI. DUI is driving under intoxication. When you're doing that, you're pretty much blitzed out of your mind. You don't know what you're doing because you're intoxicated. You're drunk. You're high. You are anything but sober at that point. Yeah, we said the jurisdiction goes from state to state. Jennifer says, like in her state, if she was in public and tripped someone on purpose and they fell, hit their head, and passed away, that's involuntary manslaughter. Great. That's a great example. Great example. On the other hand, someone made mention of someone, you're getting into a fight and you had no other recourse but to fire back at them. That is most definitely self-defense. Okay, moving onward. The defense can also cast doubt on accusations that Gutierrez brought live rounds to the set and said an Albuquerque-based ammunition supplier was never fully investigated. Juror Alberto Sanchez said Gutierrez could have paused work on the set to address safety issues. Jurors concluded she brought live ammunition on set whether she knew it or not. Sanchez said outside of court after jurors were dismissed. Pretty much, it's just that she never did the safety checks. Said Sanchez, whose work nearby in Los Alamos involves safety decisions. Never checked the rounds to pull them out to shake them. I mean, if she had done that, this wouldn't have happened. Bowles, the defense attorney, had told jurors that no one in the cast and crew thought there were live rounds on set, and Gutierrez could not have foreseen that Baldwin would go off script when he pointed the revolver at Hutchins. Investigators found no video recordings of the shooting. It was not in the script for Mr. Baldwin to point the weapon, Bowles said. She didn't know that Mr. Baldwin was going to do what he did. To drive the point home, Bowles played a video outtake in which Baldwin fired a revolver loaded with blanks. including a shot after a director calls cut. On the day of the shooting, Bowles said Gutierrez alone was segregated in a police car away from others, becoming a convenient scapegoat. You had a production company on a shoestring budget, an A-list actor that was really running the show, Bowles said. At the end, they had somebody they could all blame. Dozens of witnesses had testified during the 10-day trial, from FBI experts in firearms to crime scene forensics to a camera dolly operator who described a fatal gunshot and watching Hutchins go flush and losing feeling in her legs before her death. Prosecution painstakingly assembled photographic evidence it said traced the arrival and spread of live rounds on set, and argued that Gutierrez repeatedly missed opportunities to ensure safety and treated basic gun protocols as optional. The defense had cast doubt on the relevance of the photographs of ammunition, noting FBI testimony that live rounds can't be fully distinguished from dummy rounds on site. Prosecutors said six live rounds found on set bear mostly identical characteristics and don't match live rounds seized from the movie supplier in Albuquerque. Defense attorneys said the club supply office was not searched until a month after the shooting, undermining the significance of physical evidence. So this, let me tell you where I'm thinking here. As far as the whole thing is concerned, I was in the Army, and there was a point where we had to deal with firearms and ammunition. We've had live rounds to qualify with, and we've had dummy rounds to play with, to train with. What was the difference? Sure, they say that we couldn't tell the difference between live rounds and dummy rounds on site. But there was one significant difference I could tell you from my own training. If I were to go back to Fort Jackson, South Carolina right now, talking about this case, and had a drill sergeant put a live round and a dummy round in my hand, and he asked me to tell the difference, all I would do is say, it's in the tip. It's in the tip. What I was trained with was simply this. Oh, thank you, Mo. Thank you. The way I was trained, it went like this. A live round had that tip on it. That tip that when it's shot, it's looking to pierce something. It could be wood on a side of a building, or it could be flesh. That tip, that slug, that's the word a lot that's been used. That slug is what's gonna pierce your body, or pierce wherever you're aiming at. How you doing, Rain? A dummy round, on the other hand, all you're good with a dummy round, all you're gonna get is a flash. I've taken an M16. I've had a little safety block right at the muzzle, and I've been handed a magazine of dummy rounds, loaded right up. Take aim, bugger, 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 bugger. All I'm getting is on 3 shots. All I'm getting is 3 flashes. There's the difference. If you got the eyesight, you can tell the difference between a live round and a dummy round. You're new here with SOTO, a very interesting topic. Welcome aboard. I've wanted to do. I've never done this before, so I'm going to go ahead and do this now. And I want to thank Brittany, allegedly with Brittany J, for the inspiration to do this. If you like what I'm presenting here, and you want to tip your host, yours truly, the link is right here, paypal.me/EKB316. Nothing is obligated, but it's always appreciated. All right? Thanks a bunch. Now, we got another verdict watch that went down earlier this week. And this is what I'm going to admit. I did not follow this trial at all. I did not follow this one at all. So basically, I'm getting it just like you are. And once we get this thing once it gets loaded up, I can go ahead and play the verdict as it's being handed down. Oh boy. Okay. All right. Okay, since we're having a bit of an issue, I'm about to solve that issue in just a second. Okay, now that I got it set, as you can see on the screen, the verdict is in. Let's take a look.
Verdict for defendant Robin Howington. I see the judge on the bench. Let's get you in the courtroom.
And note, ladies and gentlemen, look how long it took. 1 hour, 14 minutes, 41 seconds. Again, I didn't follow this case. Hey, so basically, when I break this down, I'm breaking it down from what happened, and let's just go right to the verdict.
I'm going to ask that nobody be on the front row right next to the jury, please.
Jury making their way into the courtroom there in Knoxville, Tennessee. She's facing life behind bars. F found convicted. She's been out on $250,000 bond with restrictions, including an ankle monitor. Remember, Ms. Howington took the stand in her own defense, trying to explain away all of the different stories that she told police and investigators after the shooting of her 5-year-old daughter, Destiny, including that an unknown intruder, that it was her daughter's father that shot her, and then she changed it to her son. And these are all things that the jury has been considering in all of this. Let's bring in our guest for this hour that's watching along with us there. Trial attorney Michelle Thomas in Silver Spring, Maryland. And Ms. Thomas, I may have to cut you off as soon as the jury gets in the room there. Everyone's
Hold on, let me get to your comments real quick. Let's see who said that's a high bond. Mo. If you think $250,000 is a high bond for this woman that's on trial for murder, I got 2 words for you: Chad Doerman. Let me remind you of what that case looked like. Chad Doerman is about to go to trial for the murder of his 3 boys, ages 7, 5, and 3. Doerman is accused of murdering all 3 of his sons' execution style. He's got what? 3, 6, 9. How you doing, Mark? How you doing? Marion, so good to see you. Definitely should have been. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Now, which is why I bring up Chad Doerman. His bond is set at a whopping, you ready for this? $20 million. Marion, I appreciate the hugs all the way from the UK. Thank you so much. Hey, Blondie. How you doing? Yeah. So, as far as I'm concerned, I'm not making light of this at all. Robin Howington, her bond is mere chump change compared to what Doerman had to shell out just to be out on bail. And what I want to bring up is the look on the defendant's face. If that's the face of I could care less, I don't know what else is, ladies and gentlemen.
standing. But what are your thoughts on this case overall?
I think we're going to see a guilty verdict. There were just so many inconsistent stories that she told, and it's hard to reconcile that, I think, in a juror's mind. How she could have blamed the father, a 2-year-old. None of it made any sense, and I think it suggests she's lying.
All right, here's the jury coming in. Let's listen.
Please. Everyone may have a seat. Waive the call for the state. For the defense. If you could pass the verdict form up here, please, Mr. Morgan. this jury, is that correct?
Yes.
I understand the jury has reached a unanimous stand, please, sir. Ms. Howington, if you would stand in. March, as to the first count of this indictment charging first-degree felony murder, has the jury reached a unanimous verdict?
Yes, we have, Your Honor.
And that verdict is what, please?
The jury find the defendant, Robin Rebecca Howington, guilty of reckless homicide.
As to the second count, alleging aggravated child neglect, has the jury reached a unanimous verdict?
Yes, sir.
And that verdict is what, please?
We, the jury, find the defendant, Robin Rebecca Howington, guilty of aggravated child neglect.
As to the third count, alleging aggravated child neglect, has the jury reached a unanimous verdict?
Yes, sir.
And that verdict is what, please?
We, the jury, find the defendant, Robin Rebecca Howington, guilty of aggravated child neglect.
As to the fourth count, alleging, initiating, or filing a false report to law enforcement, has the jury reached a unanimous verdict?
Yes, sir.
That verdict is what, please?
We, the jury, find the defendant, Robin Rebecca Howington, guilty of initiating a false report to a law enforcement officer.
As to the fifth count, alleging tampering with evidence, has the jury reached a unanimous verdict?
Yes, sir.
And that verdict is what, please?
We, the jury, find the defendant, Robin Rebecca Howington, guilty of tampering with evidence.
And as to the sixth count, alleging attempted tampering with evidence, has the jury reached a unanimous verdict?
Yes, sir.
And that verdict is what, please?
We, the jury, find the defendant, Robin Rebecca Howington, guilty of attempted tampering with evidence.
If that is your verdict, if you would signify by raising your right hand, please. Let the record reflect all 12 hands are raised. Does either side wish for the court to poll this jury? All right, Ms. Howington, you may have a seat. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your hard work. You have concluded week one of your jury service. I wish I could tell you that you're done, but you're not. You've still got one more week of service. I know that we've got another case to start in here on Monday, so I'm sure I'm going to see a lot of you back on Monday morning when we're picking another jury. Have a very good weekend. Thank you very much for your service, and I'll see you on Monday. All rise for the jury.
Let's see. Let me hit the comments real quick before I even let's see. We got a cheering on a guilty verdict. Marion says good. Wants her to rot in hell. I could actually picture Blondie's doing that, yes, pumping her arm like Tiger Woods. And that's what I was bringing up a minute ago. She didn't care. If she did, she would have done. Well, you know. I am Skippy 3809. Welcome aboard, Skippy. It's good to have you here. Yeah, it's a quick breakdown of everything going on. That's why I've always called it Bethea'S Byte. Let's see. A round of applause. Oh, Blondie says, yeah, I did. I ain't gonna lie. All right, guys. Let's wrap this up in a nice tidy bow, courtesy of our good friends at Court TV. Up, the Tennessee mother's been found guilty of all charges in the shooting death of her 5-year-old daughter, Robin Howington, convicted of 6 charges, including reckless homicide in the September 2019 death of Destiny Oliver. Court documents obtained by Court TV and testimony at the trial detailed how Howington told authorities several different versions of what happened, including blaming an unknown intruder, Oliver's biological father, and lastly, claiming her 2-year-old son shot his sister by mistake. While being interviewed by police, Howington admitted trying to destroy her cell phone in a hospital bathroom because, quote, she was scared about it containing evidence of drug sales, end quote. She also admitted to wiping down and hiding the firearm after the shooting. March 2021, Howington's defense filed a motion to suppress their client's statement to police, saying her statement was not voluntarily given because she was, quote, horribly distressed, end quote. Motion claimed Howington told officers during her first police interview less than 2 hours after the shooting that she was nervous because she had been raped by a police officer. The motion also claimed one officer yelled after her during the interview, while another hugged her without an invitation. The motion was denied, and Howington's defense had a heated exchange with one of the detectives during the trial about the interview. I'm gonna stop right there. Jennifer's saying, that's why I love your name and ending to your show. It works well. Well, as long as I can keep on doing it, I'm gonna keep on doing it for you guys. This is what makes it great. It's you guys. It's not me. I just bring the information. You guys are the one to keep this thing running. Now, getting back to this case, Robin Howington, guilty of 6 counts, including reckless homicide, tampering with evidence, attempted tampering with evidence, child neglect. She is staring at a life sentence. And I tell you, if anyone deserves to be sentenced to life behind bars, it's Robin Howington, based on everything I've just read and everything and all the charges we heard when the verdict was read. All right, next we're gonna go right to court again, but this one is one that I know a lot of us have been following. I guess we're not gonna go to court. We will probably see some of the testimony on that. And this is in the trial of Corey Bigsby. He's accused of having something to do with the disappearance of his son Cody Bigsby. The mother of Cody Bigsby, a Virginia boy who was reported missing over 2 years ago, provided testimony in a murder against Cody's father, Corey. Dina Kareem, Cody's mother, was the first witness to take the stand at the trial. Kareem has 4 kids with Corey, who stands accused of murdering their son Cody. On the stand, Kareem told the jury that she had been in a relationship with Corey Bigsby for 4 years, and although they were engaged at one point, they were never married. After she ended their relationship in 2019, she moved to Washington, D.C. Kareem says she was hospitalized in 2020, at which point she decided to let Bigsby have the kids and wanted a co-parent. She met Bigsby halfway between D.C. and Hampton on November 1st, 2020, with the 4 kids. She said that she had never had his address and that Bigsby was often unreachable. The jury heard Kareem received an email from Bigsby in April 2021, which said, in part, Cody is still doing the same stuff. He needs to come back to you. I do not want to seriously hurt him to protect my babies. Bigsby also said Cody needed to see a psychiatrist. Kareem said that she did not believe the claims Bigsby was making in the email. Kareem said that she had not spoken to Cody since April 2021, and in the last email she sent Corey on January 15, 2022, she asked, "Where are my kids? Are they alive?" During cross-examination, Bigsby's attorney Curtis Brown claimed that Kareem was not in touch with her children often and didn't send money that Bigsby had requested to care for the children. Brown said she failed to send more than $150 over 14 months. Let me stop right here because like I said, this is one of those cases that a lot of us have followed from the beginning. This is one of the saddest missing child cases I've ever ran upon in the nearly 2 years that I've been doing Bethea'S Byte Reloaded. I've ran into cases which gave me some of the same vibes as Cody Bigsby, including Elijah Vu. And still, nothing is being done. And Mo is hitting it right on the head. She's watched it too, and she says it right. It is tragic, so tragic. I have a small amount of sympathy for Dina Kareem, but on the same level, if she had this feeling in her gut that all these poor kids. You're right, Jen. You're right. If she had that gut feeling that she wasn't unable to trust Corey with those children, wouldn't common sense say, get them back? Get them back, and I'll do whatever I can to take care of them. Brown showed Kareem a photo of Cody while he had been in Bigsby's care and asked whether he looked like he was in any kind of distress. Yes, she cheerfully responded. He looks sad. I'm used to seeing him joyful, smiling. He looks frightened. Cody's 7-year-old brother is also expected to testify, but not in the courtroom. The emotional testimony came hours after jury selection finished and attorneys delivered their opening statements. While addressing the jury during his opening statement, prosecutor Dylan Arnold called Bigsby a predator, telling the jury that throughout the trial, they would hear Bigsby weave a web of lies. Arnold told the jury that Bigsby killed Cody, and that after he realized what he had done and after, he put his body in bed with his older brother. Evidence shows Cody was dead for months before being reported missing. Kenneth Hollingsworth delivered the opening statement for the defense, saying that Bigsby did not kill his son. Instead, Cody woke in the middle of the night and wanted to go out and play in the snow. Bigsby told him to go back into bed. When he woke up in the morning, Bigsby couldn't find his son and frantically called 911. Hollingsworth told the jury that they would hear no evidence of a murder. Let's see. Mo, she didn't see them or send money for 14 months. That's what the defense is saying. That's what the defense is saying. But sometimes it's true. Sometimes the defense can claims there's some truth there. Sometimes it's not. Yeah, my sentiment exactly, Jen. I'll try to keep up with this trial as closely as I can, but right now, if he is still alive, let's pray that he is brought home soon. If not, then let's pray for justice, that the right person is on trial, and he will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. All right, next up. Oh, this one. I'm going to set this up, and I'm calling trigger warning. Let me scroll back up here, and so I can get my trigger warning here, because we have got one that we are just following, and it's disgusting. All right, here we go. Here's your trigger warning. First of all, right. Now for the copyright disclaimer. All right. Now, if I can do this from the site, I will do it from here. If not, I'll set it up in a different tab. Okay. All right. Just give me 1 minute to check, get the chat, see what was saying. Oh, this one, poor girl. Yeah, You all know what I'm talking about and who I'm talking about, right?
Metropolitan, thank you so much for joining us tonight here on Closing Arguments. We're going to talk about a story you're going to get angry. I mean, everyone's angry about this one. It's beyond the pale of what should happen to a young girl. We're talking about Madeline SOTO.
And this is why we have trigger warnings.
This was her 13th birthday on the 25th of February. She went missing the next day. Birthday party, 25th, missing the next day. Now, there's a suspect in all of this. He's in custody, but he's not charged with murder. He's not charged with abducting her. He's charged for what was found on his phone. Explicit images. Horrific images.
I stop right there just to simply say this is the guy. This is one out of different cases. This is one guy who has such a punchable face. I would like to be the first one in line to introduce him to my friends here. I've already unleashed my trigger warning for this one, Jen. Yeah, but just in case, here you are again. All right. So now, let's get back into this. Let's go right back to my main man, Fit Rand, Vinnie Politan, closing arguments, Court TV.
Of that little girl. What's the connection between him and this little girl? That's his.
Changes appearance, kiss.
His girlfriend's daughter. Apparently, he calls her his stepdaughter. We've got bigger news tonight. Now, the initial arrest was for what was on his cell phone, Stephan Stearns. That's his name. And the affidavit that was released was heavily redacted and didn't have a ton of information. It had enough that you knew what was on there was really bad. But a second affidavit has been released. It's not as heavily redacted and tells a more deeply disturbing story of what is alleged to have happened to this little girl. And I say alleged, but it's based upon images found on his phone. Okay? So all these allegations I'm going to be talking about from this affidavit are based upon what they found on his phone. Here we go. Upon reviewing the contents of Stephan's phone, several images and videos were located which depicted an apparent child. And then it references her private regions, her upper private regions, lower private regions, and the private regions behind. And the videos and pictures. There are also pictures and videos depicting an apparent child's private parts and horrific assaults. That's all I'm going to say. This warrant is to charge that the act occurred on August of 2022 when the victim was 11 years old. Remember that picture I showed you of her birthday?
August of 2022, when she was all of 11 years of age. Who does that? Who in their right mind does that? Anybody got any ideas? Let me know.
She was 13. This goes back to when she was 11. Based on the totality of the circumstances, your affiant, that's the detective, has probable cause to believe Stephan committed a sexual battery on the victim when the victim was under 12 years old. She's been suffering for years. Years. This monster's been in her house. For those of you who don't know everything that's led up to where we are now, I'm going to go through the timeline for you again. Sunday, February 25th. This is when Madeline celebrates her 13th birthday. She becomes a teenager. Most teenagers want to celebrate And it's like a great moment. Hey, I'm no longer a kid, I'm a teenager. Now knowing what she has been through, I don't even know how she could smile. Her mom wasn't there at the party because of work. And later that night, her mother claims that she spoke to Madeline for the last time after the party. Next day, Madeline seen for the last time after she's dropped off near her school. Allegedly, right? Stearns, the boyfriend, claimed to have dropped her off a little less than half a mile away at 8:40 because she was going to be embarrassed if she was dropped off at her school. Police suspect she was already dead at this time. February 28th, the search for Madeline begins. Wednesday night, February 28th, Stephan Stearns arrested on unrelated charges, not related to the disappearance or the homicide, but named a prime suspect in her murder. The charges at that time include sexual battery and possession of material, sexual performance by a child. This is sick stuff that he was recording on his phone, allegedly, right? March 1st, Madeline's body is found off of Hickory Tree Road, 17 miles away from Kissimmee in St. Cloud, 17 miles from her home. Now, let's get back to the affidavit, because this is significant as well. Remember, these images that they find on his phone after he had accidentally done a factory reset on them, by the way. That's what he told investigators. Oh, yeah, you could take a look at my phone, but I accidentally did a factory reset. They still...
Oh, I was going to bring that up too. I was going to bring that right back up too. How he made mention how he accidentally did a factory reset. Was he kidding? You don't accidentally factory reset your phone. Let's see. Let's hit the comments. Jennifer Heidi Hole. They aren't real people. They're evil. Ugh. Mo says, so very true. You know, I never curse, but people like this, yeah. Okay, then she corrected herself. Well, I hardly ever curse. Never curse is a lie. Okay, I feel you. I feel you. But still, some of these monsters. Some of these monsters will let you say a lot of stuff that you have no business saying, but in the same sense, it's like, how else you gonna describe them? What else you gonna say about these creeps? Come on, Vinny.
Got the information. Previously, detectives of the Orange County Sheriff's Office were executing a search warrant at Stephan's home address. This address is also where the victim, her mother, and Stephan live. They took images of the layout of the residence, okay? So there's pictures of the house.
Right.
Based upon a review of the images from OCSO, execution of the search warrant at the residence, the room pictured in the images from August of 2022, these assaults on an 11-year-old girl, matched the rooms in that residence. So now we know the scene of the alleged sex crimes which were on his phone.
Anybody want to take your stabs at this one? Because as much as I want to say something, I do, and I'm trying to show restraint at the same time. But Stephan Stearns is tap dancing. This case is tap dancing on my nerve right now.
Allegedly. It's the house. What about that house? What kind of house is it? It's a condo, 10-unit, 2 floors, 4 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, about 1,400 square feet. It's a nice little complex, but it's not a huge house, right? Two levels, 1,400 square feet. Now, what is this relationship? Stephan Stearns and this girl, this victim, the mother, okay? This is in the affidavit of the officer. The mother advised her daughter's stepfather, Stephan Stearns, picked her up from home and dropped her off at Hunters Creek Middle School. So that's what when this is still a missing persons case, that's what she says, that it's the stepfather. But they're not married. They've been together, I think, for years at this point, because we know the alleged abuse goes back years. But the mother refers to him as the stepfather. I wonder if she called him dad. Did she call him dad? Is this a cover? Is this trying to make it look like, oh, we're a normal family, nothing to see here? Or is that legitimately the way this family was functioning and operating? Now, in her interview with WFTV Orlando, the mom, Jen Soto, was asked about the last time she spoke to Madeline. Pay close attention to how she refers to Stephan Stearns in this interview.
We spoke about her birthday party. She had a birthday party on Sunday. She had a great time. I couldn't make it because I was working, but she had an amazing time. She was so happy with all her gifts. I told her good night, and
let me stop right there. I want to say to everybody here that's listening to this to these portions of the interview, if you got your built-in BS meter ready, let me know when yours goes off, because it'll probably go off the same time mine does.
yeah, that was it. I was the one who took her to school in the morning. That was my partner. But yeah.
Refers to him as her partner, but he's the stepfather of the child. Also referred to him as his boyfriend. So they're not married. They're not married. I want to bring in a special guest in Los Angeles, board-certified forensic psychiatrist, a trial expert witness, body language expert, columnist. Dr. Carol Lieberman is with us. Dr. Carol Lieberman, a few questions here. Let's start first with, what do you think of this relationship? The mom referring to him as the stepfather, not married, together, I guess, a couple years, maybe a few years, not a long, long time. Should we read anything into that?
Well, I don't know necessarily about, because she seems to call him a couple of different things. But what this is an example of, and I think it's useful to acknowledge this, that this kind of thing, I mean, okay, we don't know all the facts, but it seems like this is the kind of thing that is happening really more often than people realize, where a single mother who's alone, who's lonely, who has low self-esteem, gets targeted by a sexual perpetrator. And they look for situations like this. And sometimes the mother knows what's going on, that they're having sex, and sometimes they don't. But when they do know, they decide, some mothers actually, call the police and right away and take care of the problem. But some mothers just are in denial or turn a blind eye because they don't want to lose the relationship. So basically, they're selling their daughter out. Sometimes it happens with sons too, for that matter. They're selling them out so that they can stay in this relationship, whether it's for financial reasons or emotional reasons. But so we don't know yet what this story is with this mother.
Let me ask you this. Is it possible that the victim, Madeline, in this case, this goes back to at least August of 2022 is what investigators believe. Is it possible that she wouldn't tell her mom, or there wouldn't be obvious signs to a mother that this is happening in this house?
Well, going on for 2 years, 11 to 13, At least that's where the pictures come from. You know, and being in the same house, it seems very unlikely that she wouldn't have seen clues. You know, the daughter may not have told her, and that's, you know, there are all these psychological deep reasons for things. Like sometimes, you know, children do tell right away, or sometimes they tell eventually because they wanted to stop. But sometimes they're afraid, they're ashamed, they blame themselves. You know, and sometimes they know, they recognize that the mother wants to stay with the man, so they, you know, don't want to ruin things. Sometimes they don't want to ruin the financial situation. So, you know, you would think, I mean, of course they have 4 bedrooms, so that maybe made it a little harder, but you would think that she would have walked in on them at some time, which makes the birthday situation very curious. You know, they didn't have the party on her birthday, so why did they pick a day when the mother wouldn't be there? You know, did the boyfriend pick the date because he wanted to be alone with her after her party? There are so many intriguing things that we still have to see.
That are unusual. That don't necessarily make sense. Like none of this actually makes sense. I want to take a look at Stephan Stearns. He did an interview the night after Madeline disappeared, which is also the day before he was arrested. Again, this is from WFTV in Orlando. We have that video. Let's watch it together.
Again, trigger warning. Be ready.
I dropped her off. Everything looked fine when I drove away. It's the last time we saw her.
What were the conversations that y'all had in the car when you dropped her off?
Not much. She was asleep for most of the way. Told her have a good day at school when she got out. I love her. She said thanks, love you too. That was it.
And so where do you think she could possibly be? I mean, this isn't, as I was told, this isn't normal behavior.
This is not normal behavior. She's not the type that would just run off. We don't know where she can be. We're scared. We just want her home.
Are you, in a sense, blaming yourself?
It's hard not to. It just keeps coming in waves. Just the reality keeps hitting. We don't know where she is. We don't know if she's safe. We're just scared. We just want her home. Conflicting reports here and there. People say they see this or that. None of it's conclusive and none of it's helpful. We just want our baby girl back.
You want your baby girl back. That's not what the evidence is showing. That's not what your mouth is saying one thing. Your eyes are saying another. And I know your brain is saying something totally different on top of that. Oh, you want the girl back for one reason. Which is why your butt's behind bars right now. Like I said earlier, you have such a punchable face. I just love for me and my friends here to meet them head on, but I can't. That would be one, me taking the law into my own hands, which I can't do. That would be assault, which I can easily go to jail for. And I should just go ahead and let justice do what it do. So to say that I believe not one word this guy says, that's a mouthful. Jennifer flat out hates this guy so much. Oh, trust me. Anybody following this case hates him too, with a deep-seated passion. Go ahead, Vinny.
Dr. Carol Lieberman, your thoughts?
In some ways, it's convincing, a good performance, and in other ways, it's overacting. But I saw an interview of him where he talked about how he blamed himself because he didn't walk her up to the door of the school. And that he should have done that, because he was thinking, or he was trying to pretend that somebody took her in between the time that he dropped her off and the time that she actually entered the school. Of course, we know she didn't enter the school. But, it just oozes with psychopathy. I'll tell you that.
Let's take a look now at Jen Soto. She did an interview. She had a message for the viewers that were watching. Again, this is when her daughter's missing. This is from WFTV. Let's take a look at her response.
We are desperate for any answers, anything that you could do to help. I'm here for it. Just please, if you see my daughter, just please bring her home. I just hope you're okay, Maddie. I hope you're safe. I hope you're not hurt. I just hope she's okay.
Dr. Carol Lieberman, what are you seeing and hearing from Mom there?
Well, that also doesn't really ring true, but it does seem like she is very sad, that she is scared and sad, although by then she probably knew that her daughter was dead. But so it's not as phony as his, but I mean, it's more quietly phony, like that, because there's some real emotion of being upset about what could have happened to her.
Dr. Carol Lieberman, great to have you with us tonight. Great insight. Appreciate your time. I know it's valuable, and I know we'll be speaking again. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, Skippy feels the same way. This guy. Okay. I'm gonna put this up in the chat. I want to see what you guys are thinking real quick. Hang on. Start a poll. In your humble opinions, do you believe that knows more than she is letting on? And there it is. Okay, guys, I got the poll up. Do you believe, in your humble opinion, do you believe Jen Soto, the mom, knows more than she's letting on? You have three options: yes, no, or I'm on the fence. Me, I already know where I'm standing here on this. I will have the results of the poll at the end of this, all right? In the meantime, at least at the end of at least at the end of the article on Court TV's website says that while no charges have yet been filed for Madeline's murder, Kissimmee police said They are diligently working to close the case. Our detectives and forensic unit are working tirelessly to uncover the truth behind this heartbreaking incident. At the time, we are unable to release any further information as this remains an active and sensitive investigation. We understand the desire for updates. We assure you that every effort is being made to get justice for Madeline. And that's all we're praying for. Justice. Let's see what we got here. Definitely, in my opinion, most says, but she doesn't know how much more. Jen, I hate that all these bad moms share my name. So I keep hearing Jen is a bad blah blah blah, and I'm like, wait, what did I do? Oh my gosh! I mean, I'm trying not to laugh and make fun of all this, but in a way, Jen, I get it. I totally get it. All right. Here's one that kind of shook me a little bit. While we're still getting poll responses on this, well, never mind. I think we got it. We may have all that we need. But still, I want to bring this story to your attention. No, ladies and gentlemen, you're not seeing double. You're seeing twins. This is what we got going here. A Minnesota woman is accused of trying to deceive authorities into believing her identical twin sister was the driver who hit a horse-drawn Amish buggy last fall, killing 2 of the 4 children inside. Let me see if I can give you a better shot of both of these young ladies, if I can. And no, I'm gonna have to do this like this. There we go. And Skippy, no, don't even curse Jens and Jennifer's like that. Don't do that, please. Don't even curse them like that. Let me share this screen with you. Yeah. Before I go right back to the article. Okay, let me yes, like I said earlier, you are not seeing double. This is twins. On your left is Samantha Jo Peterson. On your right is Sarah Beth Peterson. Remember these names. You got Samantha on your left, Sarah on your right. Oh God. You already did. It's in the universe now. No. Anyway, back to this article. Samantha Jo Peterson, age 35, was charged in Fillmore County District Court in February with 21 counts, including criminal vehicular homicide and driving under the influence of drugs. The September 2023 crash killed 7-year-old Wilma Miller and 11-year-old Irma Miller, while their 9-year-old brother and 13-year-old sister were seriously injured. They were riding to school at that time. The horse also died. Both sisters were at the scene when deputies arrived, and the defendant's twin, Sarah Beth Peterson, insisted to one deputy that she was the driver who hit the buggy, according to the criminal complaint. Samantha Joe was charged by summons and is due back in court March 25th. Sarah Beth is also facing charges including aiding and abetting and is due in court April 1st, according to a report by WJW. Text messages obtained by law enforcement show Samantha Joe tried to get her twin sister to take the fall for the crash because she was high on methamphetamine and feared going to prison. The complaint, that's according to the complaint. Their alleged cover story quickly unraveled as investigators dug into the case. Samantha Joe has a criminal history in Minnesota that includes 2 convictions for driving under the influence and 1 for giving a false name to police. According to the criminal complaint, Samantha Joe's blood tested positive for methamphetamine, amphetamine, and THC, the active ingredient in marijuana. Squad car video from the first deputy to arrive suggests that the women traded clothes at the crash scene. The second deputy left his voice recorder going while Sarah Beth was in his squad car. According to the complaint, Sarah Beth can be heard telling Samantha Joe while the deputy was away, "I think one of the guys is on to me, but I don't really care. And there's no way they would ever know the difference between the two of us, so they can't tell." I stop right there. You may be identical twins, ladies, but police always find a way to figure out which one's which. There's always something about one or the other that anybody can figure out which one's which. Don't believe me? Here's a perfect example. How many everybody in chat, put a 1 up. Put a 1 in the chat if you know of Tia and Tamara Mowry. Tia and Tamara from a little TV show called Sister Sister. Okay, there's Mo. Jen, yeah. Okay. So Susie, I said Sister Sister. Now, can you tell which one was Tia and which one was Tamara? I can tell you I could. Tamara is the one with the mole on her face. Tia doesn't have that. Yeah, sometimes, usually Jen says, yeah. I mean, that's just one small example. All it takes is one little feature to tell twins apart. Another example I can use is WWE Hall of Fame twins, Nikki and Brie Garcia. Now they're going by as the Garcia twins, formerly known as the Bella twins. I can tell those two apart right now just by the length of hair. Nicole, she has her hair cut down shoulder length. whereas Bree is still keeping hers long. Like I said, all it takes is one small little feature to figure out which twin is which. Let me take you back to the picture of the twins in this case. You can't tell me you can't tell these two apart. I mean, it's obvious. I mean, I don't even have my glasses on. I can tell these two apart. This is Samantha Joe. She's got dirt. We can call it dirty blonde hair, right? Sarah Beth, on the other hand, is what we like to call a platinum blonde. And if you were to look at this a little bit closer, look at the eyes. Look at the eyes. One's got a good bit of highlighter of eyeliner going on, whereas the other one, none. Let's see. There's no way they would know the difference between the two of us, so they can't tell. Yeah, right. Samantha Joe was a baker at a nearby supermarket. The district manager for the chain told investigators that Samantha Joe had messaged him and Human Resources saying she had messed up and was under the influence of meth at the time of the crash. The complaint says it also says that she told an HR person, quote, "I just killed 2 Amish people. They were kids," end quote. Investigators found a search made with Samantha Joe's phone on the question, "What happens if you get in an accident with an Amish buggy and kill 2 people?" That was according to the complaint. We got more. We got a little bit more extra to this. Remember the twin brothers? One is stuck in prison for life for the other one. 43-year-old Donald Anderson now says he has done jail time 3 other times for his twin brother Ronald Anderson. Wow. I don't have a twin, and even if I did, I'm not sure I'd be able to do that for my twin brother. Sorry. All right. Let's go right to the next story, and this one may take a trigger warning as well. And I'm gonna have to work on my gift of switching words around because it's YouTube. All right. All right. Here's your trigger warning before we even get started with this article. I have to go eat dinner. No, hey, no problem. No problem. You can always catch the rest of it on the replay, all right? All right. So good to have you here. Thanks a bunch, and I'll see you next time, all right? Let's see. Cop messed up because of lookalikes at the time. Hey, that happens. That will happen. But they learned a lesson though. All right. Here's the article, and like I said, trigger warning. A Florida pastor is accused of SAing a teenager after giving them alcohol. Monty Chitty, who is the pastor of the First Baptist Church in Marathon, is charged with SA and contributing to the delinquency of a minor, according to a news release. Authorities say the 62-year-old was arrested after a 911 caller overheard a 15-year-old girl telling another adult she had been assaulted. While the caller was reporting the incident, Chitty also called authorities to say he was, quote, about to be accused of something and wanted to get ahead of it, end quote. The Monroe County Sheriff's Office tracked the teen to a boat where she lived. The girl told deputies Chitty gave her alcohol, which she thought was spite. She said she immediately began to feel weak and lost consciousness and woke up to Chitty SMing her. Chitty claimed the girl had been drinking at the church, and he helped her to a couch to lie down. He claimed he didn't touch her after that. Text messages between Chitty and the teen allegedly showed Chitty making a reference to having relations with the girl while she was impaired. Chitty was booked into the Monroe County Detention Center. Authorities said he was also a registered volunteer pastor with the sheriff's office, but has not performed any services for the office. And all I can say to that really quick is, you're a pastor. You're a pastor. And you're getting hemmed up like this? No good. That's not good. That's not good for your image. That's not good for your congregation. That is definitely not good for the victims involved either. If there's any one person that anyone should be able to trust, it's your pastor. So when you're getting accused of something like this, what do you really expect to happen? Come on, man. Next on the docket is another one I believe Here's another one I believe that should go right on under a trigger warning. All right, let's see.
We do now have a disturbing story out of Wisconsin that police are calling a thrill killing. 2 people, including a 15-year-old, are now charged with first-degree intentional homicide in the death of a 5-year-old boy. Police say they lured the child to a basement and attacked him. Here's more from Scripps News Milwaukee.
sitting at the defense table in Department of Corrections clothing, 15-year-old Eric Mendoza sat silently and nearly unmoving during his 2-hour preliminary hearing.
We're here for our preliminary hearing in this case.
The Milwaukee teen listened as 5 detectives and officers with the Milwaukee Police Department described his alleged role in the death of 5-year-old Prince McCree in detail. Details that were, at times, too difficult for McCree's family to bear.
Let's pause for a moment.
His father needing to leave the room as detectives gave the court a look into the gruesome details surrounding the child's death.
He stated that Mr. Mendoza had stated numerous times wanting to kill somebody and specifically mentioned that he did not like PRM and wanted to kill him.
We spoke to Prince's parents in January, who say they are still devastated and showed us the necklaces they wear every day with his ashes. The 5-year-old was reported missing in October and found dead in a dumpster the next day. A week later, Mendoza and 27-year-old David Coutura, who lived in the same home as the McCrees, were charged with beating the boy to death and discarding his body. State prosecutors sharing scene photos with the officer who discovered McCree near 55th and Volite.
This photo is difficult to look at?
Very difficult.
Hardest thing you've probably seen in your career?
It is.
As the testimony came to an end, Judge Laura Gramling Perez saying there's enough cause to move the case forward against Mendoza.
Specifically, that he acted as a party to a crime in causing the death of PRM and did so with the intent to kill PRM.
The teen is currently being tried as an adult. His attorney saying they will be filing a reverse waiver to try and bring his case back to juvenile court. In Milwaukee, Miriam McCarr, TMJ4 News.
Now, a status hearing in that case has been set for March 28th. We certainly will keep you updated.
And when we get those updates, I'll be sure to bring them back here for you. And yeah, Jen is all on this. Wow. Yeah, that would be my first reaction. Why I see the headline and what? Yeah. And then she caps it all saying, "I can't with these evil people." What the? And this and the thing is, one of the perpetrators in this case is all of 15 years of age. I mean, come on, man. Thanks to Scripps News Milwaukee for that one. That is just, I mean, all right. You know what? I think from this point forward, I think I'm just going to go ahead and keep the trigger warning going, because this is just wild. As I keep the more I go through, the more trigger warnings I see. And this next article is coming from right near my neck of the woods. A father in Oregon drugged his daughter and 2 of her friends during a sleepover in August of 2023, according to court documents. 57-year-old Michael Maiden from Lake Oswego is accused of lacing smoothies with benzodiazepine, a sedative that is commonly used to treat insomnia or panic attacks. Excuse me. According to court documents, the 3 12-year-old girls reported feeling groggy and some of them blacked out. All 3 of them later tested positive for benzodiazepine. Maiden repeatedly checked on the girls in a basement where they were sleeping, according to court records. He held his finger under one girl's nose and waved it in front of her face. One of the girls sent text messages to her mother in the early morning asking for a pickup. "Mom, please pick me up and say I had a family emergency. I don't feel safe. I might not respond, but please come and get me," the message read. According to court documents, the girl then contacted a family friend who took her home. Parents visited the home around 3 a.m. to collect the other girls, according to court records. Maiden was reluctant to let the parents in the house, saying the girls were sleeping. The charges Maiden faces include causing others to ingest a controlled substance. He turned himself in and has pled not guilty. Okay, back on the last story, Jennifer says, yeah, treating him as an adult is good. And let's see. Yep, and he knows better. Better go to jail forever. That child was sweet and innocent and adorable, and I hate mean people. I'm with you. Yeah, that girl and her good mom saved them. Yeah, it's called quick thinking and common sense. It's because she knew that things wasn't altogether safe. So she did smart. And as for the dad, I hope you go to jail for a long time, because who knows what you were thinking. Oh, but then again, if you were thinking, you were probably thinking with your second head, you smell what I'm cooking. One good mommy case. Yeah. Yes. We do have one good mommy case on that one, but yet we still have one bad dad. But I got some bad news for you, Jen. The streak of good mommy cases is about to end at 1. This is coming courtesy of the Associated Press. Yes, trigger warning. And here you go. North Carolina woman accused of murdering 4-year-old twins. Father calls 911 when after he arrived at the home of his wife, Genevieve Ellen Springer. That's Genevieve, not Jennifer. Genevieve Ellen Springer, which was last Saturday morning, in Murphy, North Carolina, according to the Cherokee County Sheriff's Department. The couple were separated, so the father had come to the home for a custody exchange. Authorities are trying to determine when the children died. The father, who was not named by authorities, said he last saw them alive on February 26th. A statement by the Cherokee County Sheriff's Department said an autopsy will be performed on the victims that should help determine when they died. Springer had been charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder and was being held without bond in the Cherokee County Detention Center. The Sheriff's Department said she was briefly hospitalized after her arrest last Saturday. In the statement about the slayings, the Cherokee County Sheriff's Dustin Smith asked for prayers for the victim's family, friends, and first responders involved in the incident. Let's see. You used to be sad. That you never had kids, but so happy you don't. I kind of feel you on that. And then you say, I was like, no, not another Jennifer. Good thing I was able to correct you on that. That wasn't Jennifer. That was Genevieve. But as far as what she did, all I want to know is what could those 4-year-old twins have done to make you want to kill those two. I try, y'all. I try. I just don't get it. I don't. Okay, moving onward, and the trigger warning is still in place. We're gonna go right back to my friends at Court TV. Once this one is loaded, this is the quick update on a principal pleading guilty in a murder for hire plot of a pregnant teacher.
Time to reveal something else you need to know tonight. Let's take a look at the big board. And we have on the left, that is Jocelyn Peters. She was 7 months pregnant when she was shot and killed. The man on the right is the father of the child. He was a principal. His name is Cornelius Green. He pleaded guilty with no deal, that he hired someone to murder her because he was married to someone else. No deal. Meanwhile, Cornelius Green, there he is. And let's take a look at Philip Cutler. We have Philip Cutler. This is the hitman. He's going to go to trial. He's admitted nothing. Will the principal testify against him? He didn't take a deal. He just pleaded guilty. So we'll see what happens. But at the end of the day, just do the right thing. I mean, you murder a woman carrying your child. You don't want anyone to find out. And then you admit it in court. We'll be back.
It's like Vinny was reading my mind. He said everything I was thinking. I don't need to say anything else. I don't need to say one more word on that one. Moving on in the docket. This one is just sad. And let's see, Jen, what's she saying here? Yeah, wow, I can't. And same here. Here, I mean, he hit every point I wanted. Okay, this next story, as everybody knows, is one of the saddest cases we've been following. Now, Harmony Montgomery's biological mother is asking the state to declare her dead. And yes, the trigger warning is still up. Harmony Montgomery's biological mother will appear at a court hearing on Monday as she asked the state to declare her daughter legally dead. Harmony, as you know, was 5 years old when she was murdered by her father, Adam Montgomery, in 2019, but she wasn't declared missing for nearly 2 years, and her body had never been found. Adam was convicted in February of beating his daughter to death before hiding her body in a duffel bag, a cooler, and a ceiling vent for months. Harmony's early years were chaotic and saw her living in multiple homes with a foster family and her biological mother, Crystal Sorey. Sorey has admittedly struggled with substance abuse and lost custody of Harmony to Adam, a career criminal who also has addiction issues, in 2018. Despite her father's murder conviction, Harmony's body was never found, and she has never been declared dead legally. After the jury found Adam guilty, prosecutors said they intend to continue to search for her body. And Sorey told Court TV that she wants to bring her daughter home. I don't plan on burying her, she said in an interview with Vinny Politan on Court TV's Closing Arguments. I plan on bringing her home, cremating her, so she can stay with me where she belonged. That's no, Jen, you're confusing her. The her you're referring to. You're confusing her with Kayla Montgomery. Crystal Story is the biological mother. Kayla was the stepmom, and if there's any one person that I totally have no sympathy for, it's Kayla Montgomery. And as for Crystal Story asking the state to declare Harmony legally dead, in a way, I totally understand that, and it's hard to even fathom a parent asking their child, asking for the state to have their child legally dead because they haven't been able to find her. Yeah, poor Crystal. Indeed. Next up, developments in James Crumbley trial. All right. This is coming from Court TV, but this is my other good friend. Right, I close out with Vinny in the evening, but I like to start my mornings with Julie Grant, the professor, and her opening statements.
name is Ethan Crumbley, aged 13, and I'm going to be the next school shooter.
We will hear that there was one and only one person who called the police that day to identify their kid as the suspected shooter. It was James Crumbley. I think my son took the gun. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. He's really 29. My son's name is Ethan Crumbley.
The Oxford school shooter's father is on trial. Will we see a third conviction in this tragic case? Plus, 13-year-old Madeline SOTO found dead last week. This morning, we have the arrest affidavit for her mother's boyfriend. And a mom allegedly gives her son's bully a drink that sends him to the hospital. Will a jury sympathize with her? It's all coming up next for you, plus much more right here on Opening Statements. TGIF, my friends. Good Friday morning to you and welcome to Opening Statements. I'm your host, Julie Grant. If you're new to the show, here's what it's all about. Just like in an actual trial, here during this program, we get you all ready for what is ahead in the court day, just like the lawyers do with a jury. I say the morning show here is kind of like coffee in court. We're relaxed, we get you all warmed up and ready to go for what's ahead. So right now, why don't you go ahead and grab that cup of coffee, because it's time for my opening statement. I asked my dad to take me to the doctor, and he said to suck it up. Those are Ethan Crumbley's words to his friend, explaining how his father, James Crumbley, refused to get him help with his mental health. The kid was hallucinating. He was seeing things like demons in their kitchen. He was hearing voices, hearing people talking to him who weren't there, experiencing terrible insomnia and paranoia. His mental state was so bad that he was asking his father and his mother to please take him to a doctor. Mom laughed at him. Dad said, suck it up. Now Mom is a convicted criminal. Her son is an admitted criminal. And Dad's fate is before a jury right now. I know that hindsight is 20/20, but I still can't help but wonder, what would have happened if James and Jennifer Crumbley had taken their son's pleas for help seriously? if they had taken their child to a doctor to get him evaluated and treated for his hallucinations, the voices, the insomnia, the paranoia, all the struggles, what would have happened? Would he have still carried out that mass shooting? Would the chances of it happening have lessened if they got him help? I wonder. But we'll never know, because they didn't. They let their son continue to mentally struggle and deteriorate. And then he carried out a heinous act of mass destruction. What happened at Oxford High School was stunning, sickening, and heartbreaking. It left the Oxford community forever changed, families forever brokenhearted, and 4 beautiful lives were taken that can never be brought back. Madison Baldwin, Tate Meir, Hannah St. Juliana, and Justin Schilling. As we go through this trial, let's keep their families in our minds and in our hearts. While the evidence might focus on James Crumbley and what he did and what he did not do, here on this program, we aren't forgetting that the victims are what this case is about. That's my opening statement on this Friday morning. Let me know if you like it. Right now, I want to give you what's on your daily docket.
Before Julie gives us what's ahead on her docket, I want to give her a round of applause for that opening statement in regard to what James and Jennifer Crumbley did and did not do, and the cause and effect of it. She summed the whole thing up just as beautifully as it's as if we were in a courtroom and we were getting the opening statement from a seasoned prosecutor. And before her time on court TV, that's exactly what Julie Grant was. So we're gonna I want to get to you real quick. Just part of this article that a judge signed an order to limit the phone and electronic messages of defendant James Crumbley, the father of the Oxford High School shooter, until a verdict is reached in his trial. Crumbley, who's been jailed at the Oakland County Jail since December 4, 2021, was said to have been making threatening statements on the phone and electronic messages, according to the Oakland County Sheriff's Office. The issue was ambiguously raised near the end of the first day of Crumbley's involuntary manslaughter trial after the jury was dismissed for the day. Chief Assistant Prosecutor David Williams addressed the court about an oral argument he wished to make, to which defense attorney Mariel Lehman quickly objected, arguing that it should not be heard during the trial, especially in front of media. The judge, the Honorable Cheryl Matthews, explained the difficult situation she was put in by having to hold a public courtroom and not waiting to impair the defendant's rights. In an apparent attempt to avoid openly discussing the issue, the prosecutor provided a written draft of the proposed order to both the defense and Judge Matthews. Once Crumbley was handed the proposed order, he quickly read it and whispered loudly to his attorney while shaking his head, "No, no." After whispering back and forth to each other, the defense attorney informed the court that her client would not agree to the order. It's restricting him to speak to people, Lehman said. The prosecutor explained that the proposed order aims to limit his communications to counsel and clergy for the rest of the trial because of the conduct that led him here. I stop and I say, good. Good. That way, only thing you'll be able to do is talk to your attorney, talk to your clergyman, talk to whoever your clergy is, and he won't be able to communicate any kind of threats that way. Jennifer hates that she feels bad for Ethan. He deserves to be where he is, but he begged and begged. I hate that this kid was failed and 4 lives were taken because of it. Absolutely. You hit it right on the head. And I got just that much sympathy, this much sympathy for Ethan Crumbley. But like you said, yes, he deserves to be where he is because of what he did. On the other side of that coin, yes, you brought it right. You brought it up right. He did. He did. He begged and begged and begged, please take me to a doctor. Jennifer Crumbley, ha 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 ha. Look where you are right now for involuntary manslaughter. James Crumbley, suck it up. Look where you are right now, Crumbley. You're on trial for the same thing your wife just got convicted of. Now, do you honestly think you should have taken your son to a doctor to find out what was going on? And last one goes to another missing case, another missing child case that we've been covering. And depending on how you take this bit of news, it may be good news for you. New details were revealed in the case of missing 3-year-old Elijah Vu during a hearing on Thursday. During proceedings, prosecutors filed additional child neglect charges against the boy's mother, Katrina Bauer. A judge also denied Bauer's request for bond reduction. Good. Bauer and her partner, Chessie Vang, are facing multiple charges since Elijah was reported missing February 20th. Court proceedings on Thursday uncovered additional details of chronic child neglect and mistreatment of both Elijah and his 6-year-old sibling. A modified criminal complaint upgrading the charges against Bauer painted a grim picture of events preceding Elijah's disappearance. According to the documents, Vang had also been responsible for Elijah's care. The complaint detailed disciplinary measures by Vang, including threats of cold water and forced standing for hours. I stopped reading at that point because of what I do remember of why Katrina Bauer, the mom, was sending her child to this man. She wanted this man Jesse Vang to teach her 3-year-old son, 3 years old, how to be a man. To which I say, really? You mean to tell me 3 years old and you want to teach him how to be what? 23, 33? Come on, y'all. The documents also detail a deleted photo from Bauer's cell phone on February 13th, allegedly showing Elijah with a blindfold over his eyes and visible bruising on his jaw, neck, and upper left arm. However, the evidence was not presented in court. In a dramatic turn of events during court, Jody Bauer, Katrina's mother, pleaded with the judge to deny any changes to her daughter's bond, expressing concerns about Katrina's history of erratic behavior and potential flight risk. Jody asked the judge to keep her daughter behind bars. The district attorney highlighted Katrina's history of failing to appear in court and her extensive history of charges both in Wisconsin and across the country. Ultimately, the judge sided with the prosecution, maintaining Katrina Bauer's bond at its current level. Now facing charges of chronic neglect of a child, 2 charges of obstructing an officer, and another count of neglecting a child, Katrina Bauer's preliminary hearing has been rescheduled for March 14th. Meanwhile, Yang has yet to be appointed an attorney. He also will return to court on March 14th. In the meantime, there's still no news as far as finding Elijah. So I'm gonna do this before I get out of here. Okay. I want you to take a look at this picture here. Here's another one. And another. Okay. All those photos are of 3-year-old at that time, Elijah Vu. At the time of his disappearance, Elijah stood about 3 feet tall, weighed around 45 to 50 pounds. He has dark blonde hair, brown eyes. The FBI's Milwaukee field office, the Two Rivers Police Department in Wisconsin, and the Manitowoc County Sheriff's Department and the Wisconsin Division of Criminal Investigation are still seeking your assistance in locating Elijah Vu. Elijah was last seen in the 3900 block of Mishicot Road in Two Rivers, Wisconsin, at approximately 8 a.m. on February 20th, 2024. Elijah was last seen wearing gray pants, a long-sleeved dark-colored shirt, and a red and green dinosaur slip-on shoes. He is possibly carrying a red and white plaid blanket. Elijah has a birthmark on his left knee. He is of Hmong descent. The FBI is offering up to $15,000 for information leading to the location and return of Elijah Vu and or the arrest and conviction of the individuals involved in his disappearance. Now, I can't stress this part enough at the end. If you in the area have any information concerning Elijah Vu, his whereabouts, or of anyone who may have taken him, or whatever the case may be, please do not hesitate. You are asked to call 911 immediately. You're asked to contact the Two Rivers Police Department at 844-267-6648. You're asked to contact your local FBI office. You can submit your tip online at tips.fbi.gov, or you can call the 24-hour Center for the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. That number, again, is 1-800-THE-LOST. 1-800-843-5678. Any information you can give could mean the difference between bringing Elijah back safe and sound and reunited with his loved ones. And bringing heartbreak to that family. So I say this often. I say this often. I say this from the bottom of my heart. If you see something, please say something. Hang on real quick. Very, very crazy amount of coverage today. Oh, y'all, definitely. Mind overloaded? Oh my gosh. You have no idea. I want this baby. I hope he's still with us. I hate both his mom and his. Yeah, I'm with you. I hope so. I have to go make dinner now, so I will still be listening. I'm about to wrap it up anyway. But I thank you, and I want to thank everybody that's been in chat today. Oh, let me go ahead and make this official. I'm going to end this poll here. And let's see, in your honest opinions, do you believe that Mom Jennifer SOTO knows more than she was letting on? Everybody in the chat voted overwhelmingly yes. I thank you for your participation in that. I thank you for your participation, all your participation in the chat. I thank you for joining me. Guys, again, you're the ones that keep making Bethea'S Byte Reloaded run like it's running. Over 500 subscribers and counting. I appreciate you all. I love you guys to death. And when I say that, I say that I love you, I mean it from the bottom of my heart. And I want you to take that love. I want you to spread it all around. Let your friends, your family, your acquaintances have some of that love. All right. Do that. I want you to take good care of yourself. Oh wow, Combat Vet is coming in all sorts of late, but it's all good. It's all good. That's the reason why. That's the reason why I say to you, bang bang replay gang. Like I said, I want you to take good care of yourself, protect that mental health. I want you to be good to others around you because it doesn't cost a thing. It doesn't. Be good to yourself. Be good to others. Protect that mental health. It's all right. It's all right. It's all right, Combat Vet. I get it. You're out hiking. I get that. No problem. Jen Soto probably did it. That's a good thought, or not so good thought, but I get where you're going. Anyway, my wife is doing just fine. In fact, she's in another room doing her work while eating a small plate of orange chicken. All right, I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna say goodbye to you guys. Let's hope I can do this again next week. Again, I'm gonna try to say this again. Be good to yourself. Be good to others. Protect that mental health. And again, from the bottom of my heart, I love you all. Take it, spread it around. Because I want to see you back here next time for Bethea'S Byte Reloaded. Until then, Ernest Bethea, the last outlaw. She doesn't have a true crime channel. You know, she's doing something totally different. I'll give you that information in a bit. All right, guys. I'm out of here. Thank you. I love you all. Until we do this again, you all know what to do. Bite this. Thanks for watching and joining me here at the drama-free true crime destination. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, and drop me a comment on this video. And be sure to follow Bethea'S Byte Reloaded all over social media. This is Bethea'S Byte, and it's reloaded.